Unicorn Store is a new Netflix original film that stars Brie Larson and also is directed by Brie Larson and reunites her with her co-star Samuel Jackson from Captain Marvel as well as Kong Skull Island. This is about Kit, who loves paint, glitter, all things unicorns, and she lands herself back on her parents' couch and she takes this temp job where she sells vacuums. And she just isn't fulfilled with her life. And then she meets the salesman, played by Samuel Jackson, and he wants to fulfill one of her lifelong dreams, and that is to own a unicorn. But she has to go do these tasks to prove that she is worthy of owning a unicorn. She has to build a stable, prove that she is financially ready for a unicorn, as well as bonding with her parents. And what we got from Brie Larson in The Unicorn Store is a very odd film that mostly drags and is heavy with its messages and metaphors about the difficulty of growing up and entering adulthood. I would have been fine if these messages were subtle. I would have been fine if, they hinted at some of these metaphors throughout the film. A lot of the times from Brie Larson and her co-stars, they have to tell us what certain things mean. There's a specific scene towards the end of the movie where she has to sell a vacuum, and she describes it as something that sucks up all the negative things in your life. That's a big metaphor for a vacuum, but they had to describe exactly what it meant. And that led me to think that this movie is heavy-handed with its metaphors and its overall message. The message of growing up. The unicorn is something that symbolizes your childhood, and you really, really want to hold on to that memory. But once you get that unicorn, you might not want it as much as you did as a kid. There's so many things in this movie that are hinting at the difficulty of leaving childhood as entering adulthood. Like I said, I would have been fine if it was very subtle, but it felt very forced and heavy-handed at times. Brie Larson is a really good actress. I enjoy her in such roles as Short Term 12, Captain Marvel, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and she's pretty good in this movie as well. She's energetic, she's always upbeat, she believes in fantasy, she wants to hold on to childhood memories, and she has a pretty good relationship with this young boy named Virgil who works at a hardwood store, and together they build the stable and build this relationship. So I did like the relationship, and I also like the acting in here as well. Samuel Jackson is goofy in this movie, and it's nothing new for him. It's an over-the-top character. He has some weird things in his hair and he dresses odd, but it does shine out in the movie. For the first time with the movie, I think that the script, from the first time directing from Brie Larson, I thought this movie was kind of all over the place. It wanted to talk about entering adulthood, and it had the unicorns, and it had her temp job, and then it had this weird guy at her work that might have been harassing her. I think Brie Larson took on too much at one point and tried to put it all in this movie. She juggled a little bit too much, and nothing I was able to connect with. I understood what the movie was trying to tell us, but I really did not care for it. I think if she could have focused on one thing, it would have made the movie more impactful than it really was. Still, it is a decent watch. I do like her performance in here. Like I said, it's energetic, and it's always nice to see her upbeat in the movie. But overall, it was heavy-handed with its messages and tried to do a little bit too much. I'm gonna go ahead and give Unicorn Store a C. What do you guys think of Unicorn Store, the new Netflix original film? Make sure to check out my most recent video right over here, Pet Cemetery. This movie just came out this weekend, and check out other videos on my channel. My name is JustinWatchesMovies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.